mentioned the defensive rebounding being sporadic throughout the early season. Was that the biggest issue tonight?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, you know, I thought we did some really, really good things on offense in the first half. I think 63 points we scored, whatever it was. So we were in a good place there. But the second half, we didn't shoot the ball as well. And that's going to happen sometimes. You know, we've played a lot of games in a short period of time, and you know, maybe a little leg weary, and you know, ball's just not going down. You're just missing shots. But you know, you have to do like all these other things, you know, to offset that sometimes, especially with a team like this that scores. And we did a good job defensively on them, I thought, for most of the game. But the rebounding, I thought some timely turnovers. And it wasn't, you know, Capella got them, but it wasn't necessarily, you know, all of, let's say sometimes Stephen was switching, sometimes he rotated and helped. We just didn't do a good enough job, especially I thought the one, I forget how much time was left, there was a long rebound and kicked out that we played really good defense. They got it back. I think inevitably maybe somebody made a three out of the corner. Like those things, just those points add up, you know, on those little things like that. And I thought that was definitely a big factor in the game.
Do you think of bringing, or why not bring Stephen back earlier when Capella had he had the offensive rebound that led to the Daniel House 3, and then he had a couple of dunks there? Why not bring back Stephen earlier?
Well, you got to let him rest a little bit. I mean, he's out there the whole entire first quarter. I mean, it's really hard to put a guy like him, Stephen, as big as he is, and I don't think Stephen would bat an eye. I mean, it's not him. It's just my feeling of just trying to give him a little bit of rest, you know, bringing him back. But we got to be good enough. You know, it's blocking out's a team thing. It's not, you know, most of the game Stephen was matched up with Capella, so it was really more of a team thing, you know, all the way around. I think when you talk about rebounding.
What was the decision to play Nader instead of Patrick?
Well, they obviously in the second year were playing four guards, and I just didn't think, you know, to play Pat for a minute in the third quarter, minute and a half with Tucker out there, and then have us play four guards. You know, they were putting them in pick and roll in the second quarter. And, you know, that's, I think, the flexibility of our team. You know, I give Abdul credit. He's kept himself ready. He's worked hard. But they had four guards out there. You know, the matchups for us in terms of how things we needed to do defensively, it was probably a little bit easier for us with that lineup out there.
Coach shot the ball incredibly well.
I'm sorry?
Well, shot the ball incredibly well in the paint in the second quarter.
Yeah.
What changed in the second half defensively? Did they make any defensive changes?
I don't think so. We did, like I said, I didn't think we had a really good second half offensively in terms of putting the ball in the basket. We had opportunities. We moved the ball at times. We got, you know, was every shot that we took in the second half a great shot? No, but we got enough downhill. We got enough kickouts. We just couldn't make enough. You know, we had plays around the basket. We missed a lot of bunnies and chip-ins. Those things, you know, that's going to happen sometimes. But like I said, I think the rebounding, some of the turnovers, you know, we could have probably executed a little bit better on offense on certain occasions in the second half. Those are the things I thought were impactful.
Coach, your thoughts on the play that Austin Rivers gave the Rockets tonight on his first game?
Yeah, I mean, Austin's a good player, and you know, I think there's obviously probably a lot of excitement for him. I think anytime you get into a situation where you're starting fresh, you're starting new, you know, he probably was excited about the opportunity. So he made a couple big shots for them, and a big free throw late. So you know, give him credit for that.
Really, same situation with bringing Paul back later. Is it the same as Stephen, just needed to rest him some?
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, it's just hard to play those guys, you know, on a continual basis, 41, 42 minutes, and to ask those guys to sustain that. You know, we've got to be a team. We've got to build out our team there. I don't know what those guys' final minutes were, but I imagine they're probably in the high 30s, close to 40 minutes. Yeah, you know, so I mean, I don't want to get into, you know, in fairness to those guys, for those guys to be effective and efficient, and believe me, they're not asking to come out of the game, and if it was up to them, they all play 48 minutes. He would love to, but I think in order, you know, when you play 3 games in 4 nights and stuff, you got to try to give guys a little bit of chance to recuperate before they go back out there. And again, you know, to bring those guys back in, to play them 1 or 2 more minutes, you know, maybe it helps, maybe it doesn't. Also, maybe it fatigues them coming down the stretch as well. So I have no problem with the minutes those guys got and how many minutes they played. I think as a coach, I got to be fair to those guys. And like I said, neither one of them has said to me, "Hey, you know, can I rest today?" That was never said. But I just felt like that's the best thing at times.
Coach, what you can tell me about Abdul?
Good player. He's done a lot of good things for us.